Hi, welcome to Movie Review Mom. Today, the movie I'm reviewing is Second Act. It is rated PG-13. It's 103 minutes, and the score that I gave the movie is a B, and I'll tell you why. First off, it's pretty hard to make the beautiful and talented Jennifer Lopez seem like a regular girl like the rest of us, but that's basically what this empowerment movie features. She's easy to watch on the big screen, and this is a chick flick that women will probably embrace. And in fact, the audience that I sat with loved it. Men have been very critical of this movie, but based on the women's reactions in the theater, uh, it's just a great chick flick. I definitely enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And while it's predictable and feels like a movie you've seen before, you'll still leave the theater feeling energized to go for it, whatever it is for you. You'll enjoy the theme song from the movie too, which is Limitless. Um, and you walk out of the theater with that playing, and you just feel like I can do it. So a few tips for parents, and I'll give the rest of you guys some more information about it. There is some profanity, including a couple of F-bombs. Kids also swear, and I hate that. It's supposed to be cute, but I just think it's really stupid. There's a mother who constantly swears, and of course it rubs off on her kids, and she's telling them to clean up their language, and she's got this terrible potty mouth. So I was really happy finally when she tries to make an effort to clean up her own potty mouth in order to help her kids break their bad habit. And so, that's sort of a running gag through the movie. But again, I don't really like it when little kids are swearing. I just think that's really stupid. But anyway, there's also talk of porn and pleasuring oneself. There's some crude gestures. I don't know why they have to feel like they have to put that kind of stuff in. There's an unwed teenage pregnancy and the resulting adoption. There's lots of cleavage, which is mostly J-Lo. I mean, she's gorgeous. If I looked like that, I'd be super tempted to dress like that too. And actually, she has some really cute outfits. And I'm super grateful for a strong father who was adamant about his three daughters going to college. And for parents, I want you to talk to your kids about getting a college education. I know it's been in the news a lot that you don't need one, but I'm actually a university professor, and I have students that are straight out of high school, 18-year-olds, and I have students that are 88 years old. I actually have a student this semester who is a grandmother and just had two great grandchildren born. That's so inspiring, and that should also tell you that people still value a college education. Yes, going into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt is not advisable, but there are so many more less expensive alternatives that your kids can consider. And, going to college isn't just about the degree. Of course, that's important, but it's also about just gaining that knowledge and having those experiences, and more importantly, learning how to learn. Okay, so I could go on and on about the importance of education, and that's a very strong theme in this movie. So just talk to your kids about it. All right, so some things that I liked. First of all, fans of J-Lo will just enjoy seeing her in another movie. She does a great job. She looks beautiful, as always. Some of her outfits are super cute, and she's just talented, what can I say? And what's interesting about her is she plays roles that don't make you hate her. When somebody's gorgeous and talented in so many ways, it's easy to hate that person because you can't relate and you're jealous. You want those talents and those things. But she's very likable, and just kudos to her. Leah Remini, however, just steals every scene that she's in. She stars as the classic supportive best friend to Maya, who's played by J-Lo. And don't we all wish we had someone like her in our life? She really pushes J-Lo, or Maya, and supports her and encourages her. Other than the potty mouth, she provided great comic relief in the movie, and the audience that I sat with in the theater just loved her. Whenever she spoke or unsnapped the top button on her pants after overeating, the audience just laughed with delight. Her character seemed very real as opposed to some of the other elements of the storyline. But she was just a lot of fun. It was great to see her, and I'm always happy to see her do well. Vanessa Hudgens, I'm not saying the name right, Hudgens, is really becoming a lovely actress. I thought she did an excellent job in this season's Christmas movie too. It's called The Princess Switch. I was just flipping channels on Netflix and I was trying to get in the Christmas mood, and I saw that, and it's super cheesy. It's a little rom-com for when you're in the Christmas mood. It's very cutesy and girly, and it was really cute. And it just reminded me how much I like her as an actress. And in this movie, she plays a much more sophisticated, Ivy League educated businesswoman. And she's believable in every role that I've seen her play. So I just thought she was really cute. Feminists will be very happy to see a lot of female executives in this film. It's all about female empowerment. And of course, the theme is second chances, you know, second act, and that everybody has a second act in them. And I liked taking a girl from a kind of a Walmart type of a scenario into a big corporate office and being able to use street smarts and use those and be paid for those skills. And in fact, it's her birthday and she wishes, she says, I wish that street smarts equaled book smarts. And you know, a lot of universities nowadays, going back to my university lecture, they do give you credit for life experience. And I love that because you do learn street smarts, and that should be valuable in a business setting. And oftentimes I've worked in the corporate world as well, and I've seen people that went straight from college to the corporate world, and they don't have that street smarts experience. And I think it's definitely valuable. And so there's an element of that. I mean, that's the whole theme of the movie, right? New York City also is a featured landscape of the movie, and you get to see lots of cool places like Highline Park, which used to be this railroad tracks above ground, and now they've converted it into this above ground walking park. And we took our family there a few years ago. It's just really cool. You get to see Grand Central Station, of course, Rockefeller Center, the streets of Soho, South Street of Seaport, Madison Square Park, and of course the ever film-worthy Central Park. Who doesn't love the Big Apple? And the city makes for a perfect leading lady in any movie. And gosh, so many movies are filmed there because it's so film-worthy. I thought it was really funny when Ariana, played by Charlene Yi, I don't know if I'm saying either of those names correctly, and Chase, who's her coworker, played by Alan Eisenberg. Anyway, when they were talking about the frustrating ending of the movie Titanic, because they were saying, oh, that door that Rose, played by Kate Winslet, was on at the, in the ocean at the end of the movie, seemed plenty big enough for both her and Jack, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. And that always bugged me about that movie. And she says, I'll never let go. And then she instantly lets go. Anyway, I just thought that was so funny. I always like it when movies reference other movies too. There's this whole movie is a rarity in the film industry in that it finished on time and under budget, which is pretty cool. It's just kind of this little underdog of a movie, and it's really enjoyable. There's also an element of the story that points out some of the ridiculous, this is how it's done mentality that corporations still have. Thankfully, business is changing a bit, and organizations are starting to value people and the human touch. Executives are starting to listen to consumers more. And more importantly, some companies are actually starting to realize their responsibility as they influence society, the environment, and people. I'm actually working on my doctorate degree in management and have taken lots of management classes and leadership classes, and we talk about that in organizational strategy and the trends that we're seeing in corporations. And I love that things are changing, that it's not always status quo. Yes, that still exists, but there's progress being made in the corporate world, and I'm so pleased to see that. There's some very tender moments in the movie. I admit I didn't cry, but I could hear some sniffles in the theater, in the audience. And, it's predictable, but I still really enjoyed it. And I was delighted with a few elements that surprised me. I always love it when a movie surprises me. I see so many movies, as I do all of these movie reviews, because I love movies. But I'm always so tickled when I can't tell what's going to happen. I love that. There's some awkward things or some things I didn't love. And that is, for example, they go to this Christmas party and there's just this awkward scene at the Christmas party with people dancing together and then off in the background. And it's, you can tell things just weren't synced really well. It's just really awkward and just weird. I kind of expected J-Lo to, really dance, and it's just kind of odd. I was actually an extra in a TV series that unfortunately never aired. It was going to be called Saints and Sinners. And we had this one scene where we were at this party and everybody was supposed to be dancing. And then the main lead characters, I was just the low-life extra, but they had some lines that, of course, they were talking. And so I had never experienced this before, but they're like, okay, everybody dance. But there was no music so that you could hear the two characters talking in the scene. And so everybody's like, well, how fast is the music supposed to be? And I just thought, this isn't going to look good when they add the music in, because we might all be totally off the beat. Anyway, I suspect that may be what happened in this scene, because it just is super awkward. It's just a tiny, dumb thing that drove me nuts, but whatever. There's a super predictable reveal during a speech with a big audience, and then the expected aftermath and the resolution of finally telling the truth. Like I said, that part was totally predictable. And the aftermath is very predictable, but still, it was still fun. So, and then the last little thing I just thought was kind of weird was, and I'm not saying that J-Lo is so old, but it seemed rather odd and unrealistic for her boyfriend to want to start a family with her. So she has this grown daughter who's at least 25 years old, right? And so assuming that her daughter was at least 25 years old, and Maya had her or J-Lo had her when she was 15, 16, that would make Mila or J-Lo about 41 years old and premenopausal, right? So it didn't seem like, well, let's get together and have a family. It didn't seem like that was a realistic thing. Whatever. Anyway, some interesting lines are, Leah Remini says, who said life is fair? Good point, because there's some whining and moaning about the economic barrier and the disparity between rich and poor, opportunity and closed doors. So there's some reality to that, definitely. And Milo Ventimiglia, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name. He's the boyfriend. He plays Trey. And everybody's so in love with him after the TV series, This Is Us. I mean, everybody fell in love with him. Anyway, so he's the boyfriend, the love interest. And he says, no relationship that starts with a lie can ever survive. That's kind of a thread, and it dips into a few other relationships during the movie. And I think that's worth talking about with your kids as well. And then at the very end, Maya says, every day you wake up and get a second chance to be whatever you want, the only thing stopping you is you. And that's a big lesson of empowerment. Stop the whining and the complaining and make things happen. If you're not happy with your life, get another seat. Change what you're doing. I know that sounds easier said than done, but ultimately and truly, you create your life. You're the one that creates the opportunities by your choices. So if you don't like what's happening, maybe you're not making good choices. I'm just saying. Anyway, like I said, I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would, and I hope you will too. In the meanwhile, whatever that cliche is, I need to stop saying that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you join the Movie Review Mom family. And visit moviereviewmom.com, where I write down the full review and I have contests and a free gift for you when you subscribe to my newsletter, which is, I'll tell you now, it's actually a report on how you can watch movies for free, either at home or even at the movie theater. So in the meanwhile, I said it again, I need to stop saying that. Have fun at the movies. Bye for now.